Today we're going to be going over Age of Overlord and its reveals, and let's go down the line. First off, I'm going to be going over the imports, and then we're going to be going over the TCG exclusives. So for the imports, we have Leela Rap, Rose Papillon, Alpha Summon, Sweet Roommate, Starring Knight, Red Arrows, Burning Dragon, and Switch Point. So these are two of a V-Jump trio, being Burning Dragon and Rose Papillon. And then we also have Selection 5 imports. So that is nice to see these finally come to the TCG, and that's why they upped the amount of cards by 1 for this set. Now let's get into the actual part of the video that I'd like to read the cards. We have the TCG World Premieres, and let's get into it. First off, we have Ken the Dragon Warrior. It is a level 3 light warrior effect, 1300 attack and 1550 defense. Once per turn, at the end of the battle phase, return this card from the field to the hand. You can only use each of the following effect of Ken the Warrior Dragon once per turn. During your main phase, you could special summon one Jen the Diamond Tiger from your hand or deck to your opponent's field in defense position. If this card is special summoned by the effect of Jen the Diamond Tiger, your opponent draws 2 cards, then they discard 1. I can see these cards being teched in something like Dark World, even though that they're not fiends, because this is allowing you to draw 2 to discard 1. And then for the other one, we have Jen the Diamond Tiger. It is a level 3 light warrior effect, 800 attack and 2000 defense. Once per turn, at the end of the battle phase, return this card from the field to the hand. You can only use each of the following effect of Jen the Diamond Tiger once per turn. During your main phase, you could special summon one Ken the Warrior Dragon from your hand or deck to your opponent's field in defense position. If this card is special summoned by the effect of Ken the Warrior Dragon, discard 1 card. So being able to hand rip for 1 on a monster is very interesting, and it's definitely one thing for sure. But it would be a nice little tech to have this in a deck if many people are on it, where you could just side the one Ken and then put it in if you know that they're running it. So that's definitely going to be interesting. After that, we have Asset Mountis. It is a light level 7 insect effect monster, 2300 attack and 2000 defense. And if your opponent controls a level 6 or lower monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you have more cards in your hand than your opponent's, you can change the battle position of all monsters on the field. All other insect monsters on the field become the same attribute as level as this card. That is very interesting. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except insect monsters, so mono insect could be a thing. If this card is destroyed, you can add 1 level 8 or higher insect monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Asset Mountis once per turn. Very interesting card for generic insect pile, but I definitely see it just being used as an extender if we get Glow Up Bulb back, so we can bring back the bulb and synchro off into an 8 like Diabolic Mantis, I think it is named. But other than that, this is an alright card. Next up, we have Pit Knight Philly. It is a Fire Link 2, left and right. Cyber's Link effect, 2 effect monsters with 1500 attack. If this card is special summoned to a zone of Link monster points 2, you can target 1 monster you control with 1500 or less attack. This turn, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. Also, if it battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage inflicted to your opponent is doubled. During the standby phase of the next turn, after this card was destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card, and you can only use each effect of Pit Knight Philly once per turn. So this goes hand in hand with something like Pit Knight Early. That's the name. Because you could go into that, then link into this, and then make it double attack. Being able to double attack and do battle damage. Double damage, so it's kind of like a Garura in a way. That's very cool. It's very niche as well. Next up, we have Watsick Fighter Porter. It is a normal spell card, I believe, And you can special summon up to 2 level 3 or lower light monsters from your hand. If you summon 2 monsters with the same original type, those monsters can attack directly this turn. If they have the same original level, they also cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. You can only activate 1 Watts Psychic Fighter per turn. I don't know why that was so hard to say. After that, we have the new Tistina cards. We have Fallen of the Tistina. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Place 1 Divine Domain Boss Tistina from your deck face up in your field zone. So being able to turbo out your Tistina field spell is very powerful. And honestly, that is very nice because I feel like the deck definitely needed that. Now, afterwards, we have, if a face-up Tistina spell or trap card you control is destroyed by opponent's card effect, while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can banish this card, special summon 1 light Tistina monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can only use each effect of Fallen of the Tistina once per turn. This card is really good for the deck. Being able to grab your field spell on top of getting to your Demigod and Crystal God, definitely 100% worth playing this, at least as a 2 or 3 of. Next up, we have Return to the Tistina. This is a level 2 Fire Aqua effect monster, and that image is bright. Oh my lord. But if this card is in your hand, you can target 1 Tistina monster you control, except Return to the Tistina, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, its level becomes the targeted monster's level. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 Aqua Exceed monster you control, attach this card to it as a material. You can only use each effect of Return to the Tistina once per turn. So being able to attach this to a Aqua Exceed you control is very powerful, and being able to adjust this card's level up to whatever you need for the Exceed is very powerful, and that kind of spoils that they're getting an Exceed already. We have Tainted of the Tistina. It's a level 5 Dark, and it's an Aqua 2000 attack, 0 defense. You could tribute summon this card by attributing 1 face down monster your opponent controls. So Book of Eclipse and Book of Moon are going to be mandatory in this deck, which is fine. If this card is sent to the graveyard except from the field, you can target 1 Tistina monster you control. This turn it can make a second attack during each battle phase. Also, you can only attack with 1 monster. Multiple attacks on a monster on attack with only 1 monster you control. This is absolutely fine, and plus it is spot removal if you manage to get an Eclipse off. That's a very nice. This Tistina's made to counter Pearly, isn't it? I think it is. So you have to play more carefully against this deck. That's nice. Next up, we have Tistina, the Divine that Defies Darkness. It is a light rank 10 Aqua Exceed effect, 2000 attack and 3000 defense. And it takes 2 level 10 monsters. So already off to a good start. If this card is special summoned, you can send all face down cards your opponent controls to the graveyard. You can only use this effect of Tistina, the divinity that defines darkness. Already, this is crazy, being able to send all face down cards your opponent controls to the graveyard. So this is kind of like a whole entire dark hole from Forbidden Memories if the cards are face down. That is actually very crazy. Once per turn, if this card has Crystal God Tistina as a material, you can detach 1 material from this card. It gains 2000 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. If this card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card while it has material, special summon 1 Tistina monster from your graveyard. This is a really, really good boss monster. It's a very scary boss monster, but being able to use this and Tainted, you can swing for 8000 damage maximum. That is actually scary. Next up, we have Play of the Tistina. It's a quick play spell card. Special summon 1 Tistina monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, but return it to the hand during the end phase. You can only activate 1 play per turn. This card is also very good because it could turbo out all your Crystal God. It turbos out your Crystal God, so you could do whatever you want with all the other ones, that is actually very powerful. Embrace of the Tistina is next, and it's a continuous trap card. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you can target that monster, change it to face down defense position. That's not that bad, actually. You could, during the end phase, you can target one face down defense position monster your opponent controls. Take control of that monster. You can only use each effect of Embrace of the Tistina once per turn, and you can only activate them while you control a Tistina monster with 3,000 or more defense. So, the Crystal Gods. I gotcha. Overall, this card is actually very good. It's probably going to be a 1 or 2 of in the deck, because being able to have that interruption, putting stuff face down, is very mandatory right now, and it's very good against things like Adventure Synchro, and it's also great against Pearly. Even stuff like Unchained, it kind of hurts them if they need to Exceed Summon or Link Summon. So this is going to be a very good card. And finally, we have Discordance, or Discordance, of the Tistina. Activate one of these effects. If you control a Tistina monster, banish one card from your opponent's graveyard face down. Or if you control a Tistina monster, special summon from the extra deck, banish all cards from your opponent's graveyard face down. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Tistina monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use one Discordance of the Tistina effect per turn, and only once that turn. So, the bulleted effects you can only use once per turn. The banish from graveyard effect you can use as much as you want. No, it's only one effect. Okay. This card is extremely powerful, and I thought we were done with that banishing face down stuff, Konami, but I guess we were wrong. This new Tistina wave is definitely scary, and I definitely have to say, I cannot wait to see what people do with this deck, because I know one person at my locals, they're running Kashtira Tistina, and the deck's very scary, and he almost topped multiple regionals with it so far. But I hope you guys did enjoy those, and let's get into the actual rarities for the video. So, like always, I have a spreadsheet just for everyone, and we are going to be looking at the rarities. So, all secret rares and ultra rares come in quarter century secret rare, and the super rares are just super rares. So, let's get into it. So, your 10 secret rares are Arius, the Labyrinth Butler, Dibelstar, the Black Witch, Tumultef, Blessing of the Horus, City of Gloria Horus, SP Little Knight, Snake-Eyed Flameberg Dragon, TG Limiter Removal, TG Rocket Salamander, Visa Samsar, and Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils. Now for the ultras, you have Darkhold Dragon, Divine Temple of the Snake-Eye, Full Armored Dark Knight Lancer, Infernal Flame Banshee, King Sarcophagus, Manadimium Triscot. I am bad with words. Odd-Eyes Arcry Dragon, or Arcray Dragon, Original Sinful Spoils Snake-Eye, Super Star Slayer Typhoon Sky Crisis, TG Glaive Blaster, TG Over Dragonar, Tainted of the Tistina, Tistina the Divinity that Defies Darkness, and Vanquished Soul Xiaolong. So overall, those ultra rares and secret rares are amazing, and those all come in quarter century secret rare along with Magician of Bond and Unity. Let me zoom into 110 because that's better. And let's get into the super rares. We have Baphomet, the mythical king of the Phantom Beasts, Burning Dragon, Canopic Protector, Embrace of the Tistina, Exceed the Pendulum, Fire Recovery, Happy Guidance of Horus, Nephile Abyss, the Audotic Overlord, Poisoneer, or it's the new Neville's monster that I'm not even gonna pronounce. Then we have Keb, the Protector of Horus. I'm only gonna say Keb because that's what I want, or Key, I should say. We have Realm Eulogy, Seed, Spitting Sapling, Sinful Spoiled, Betrayal, Silvera, Snake Eye, Ash, Birch, and Oak, along with Starry Dragon Cycle, Supreme King Gate Magician, Switchpoint, Synchro Rumble, TG, All Clear, and Mighty Striker, that should be Mighty. Veda, Calarcanum, Wings of Light, Exceed, Armor, Fortress, and Torpedo. And as always, I'll have a link to this document down in the description below, or down in the comments below. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy, and see you guys in the next video.